Hi, everybody. Welcome to our power preview for InfoComm. We have a lot of people here with us today, including Mark Trevina. Hello, Mark. It's nice to see you.
Hey Rachel, how you doing?
Doing well. So we're
Awesome.
excited to talk about lighting, sound, and video today with the ACT Entertainment team. We welcome you to write comments and we can answer them right on our social media platforms. Ask questions, of course. And I'm going to let Mark take it away.
Awesome. Right. Well, welcome everybody to our webinar. It's going to be super exciting. Like Rachel says, the first time we're bringing together lighting, sound, and video together on one booth at InfoComm, and we're super excited to be doing that. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Like Rachel said, if you want to write comments, please do. And Rachel can bring them up on screen as well. So if you've got comments, we'd love to hear them. If you're watching this after the event, please put your comments in YouTube or LinkedIn or wherever you're watching this stream at the minute. It will stay up afterwards. So we'd love to see all your comments and your ideas. Let's introduce who's speaking first of all, and then we'll look at the booth and then we'll start getting into the discussion. So this is the team today. So we've got Ben, who's our CEO, who's about to join us. He's the CEO of ACT Entertainment. James and Matt are coming to talk about sound. So James is Vice President with ACT Entertainment. Matt Lawrence is with Avid. And then Ryan Hindinger will be coming to talk about lighting. And he's got a guest with him as well. It's Daniel Kannenberg, who's coming from MA. And then we'll finish off the call talking about video. So we've got Bob Boniol, who's recently joined us, and we'll talk about the video that him and I have made recently. Darren Gaffey, who's Global Product Director for Signal Processing. So that's Calico, CoreyMaster 2, CoreyView, all those great products. And then Nick Spencer will be bringing up the rear, talking about media servers. Before we get to Ben, let's have a quick look at the booth, because we are right across the hall from each other at InfoComm. I'll give you the booth number at the end. What we decided to do is, rather than have tvONE and Green Hippo sat as a little island on a different brand, to brand it all ACT Entertainment, because the reason is because ACT Entertainment's predominantly seen as bringing live events to life, whereas tvONE tends to be the other side, more installation. Green Hippo somewhere in the middle, but actually there's huge crossover in both directions. So putting some of the tvONE products, Calico, into live events, and putting ACT products into the world of installation. And it's great. It'll all be there in one place in front of you, so you'll be able to try all these fantastic solutions out for yourself. Now, let's get a high-level view to start with, and I'm going to be joined by Ben. Ben Saltman's our CEO and our leader. Hi, Ben. How are you?
Hey, Mark. And as I like to say, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to everybody, depending on where in the world you're watching us from.
Yeah, so we're in London. Where are you today?
I am in New York City.
Beautiful, beautiful. Hope to come one day.
So far we have a morning and an afternoon. I'm sure we have an evening there somewhere as well.
Yeah. I know you've been with ACT for a while when it was ACT Lighting, and then it became ACT Entertainment. But I thought it would be really useful to people who are on this call, maybe have come from the tvONE Green Hippo route, may not have heard of ACT Entertainment before, and it'd be really useful. Can you describe ACT in a nutshell for them?
Sure, absolutely. So we are the preeminent distributor and manufacturer of lighting, video, and sound technology in North America and the UK. And those products that we manufacture, of course, are also distributed all over the world. So as you can see here, you can see, our top brands. We are, I like to talk about how we supply technology, entertainment technology for events. And that event could be one of the most celebrated things on the planet, like a sold out festival or the Super Bowl halftime show, or it could be as simple as a musician playing in their bedroom at night, right? So we have both our own brands, Green Hippo, tvONE, Proco, you see on the screen, are our supplier partners, MA Lighting, Ayrton, Robert Juliot, and now Avid and PK Sound. And so our goal is to have the preeminent, brand in any category. and to be at the forefront of that technology, and also to help shape the future of that technology by working as a conduit between those users and our manufacturing partners.
And one of the things that I've really noticed since we've been working together is where you have partner brands, that
Right.
it's a really close relationship. So I know recently you were in Europe, but you weren't just coming to visit tvONE and Green Hippo and Ambersphere. You actually visited those partners as well to maintain that relationship.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, we like to think when we take on a brand, we are the brand, right? We want, when people think about MA Lighting or Ayrton in the United States or in the United Kingdom, or Canada or Ireland, they're also thinking about ACT Entertainment in the same thought, right? We are our brands. You know, I just came back from a 10-day trip in China visiting the factory where the Ayrton products are manufactured. So we have an incredibly close relationship with our supplier partners, and that's a really, you know, it's a two-way communication. Our passion for that technology is what allows us to take the feedback from the market and bring it to those partners and help them develop the next technology. And it's the same passion that we have for our own brands. Think about the work that we do with our Green Hippo products or the tvONE Calico products. And it's the passion of working with the people in the industry who are creating those events and supplying the technology. You know, you're going to hear later on in the call from James, from Ryan, from Bob, you know, from yourself, the people who are going out there and talking to the partners that we work in support of creating those events.
And the other thing that I've noticed is, when tvONE and ACT joined up, I kind of saw it as like two different industries. But actually, the more and more I see it, the whole world's a stage now. It's not just like your stage for your Super Bowl, for your concert. It's everything. It's even corporate events, corporate installs. All these products fit everywhere.
Absolutely. You know, think about Future Store, or, you know, think about some of the retail experiences or maybe the house of worship experiences, right? This technology applies across a wide range of both live, and by live experiences, that may involve permanent install. It may involve system integration. It's still creating that moment for people, that that experience, whether it's, you know, equipment that gets torn down and packed in a truck every night and moved to a new city, or it's equipment, as you pointed out, that's been installed in a corporate lobby. It's that moment that we're creating for people that's so important.
And it's a big period of change for us at the minute. You know, you've got a brand new leadership team. We're reorganizing, and I guess if I was a customer, I want the reassurance that the good things that we do already are going to stay the same, right? Our customer support, our training, our education, everything like that. That's not changing, no?
Absolutely. You know, the way to think about bringing the lighting and the video and the sound together, it's about giving our customers, it's to simplify how we communicate with our customers and giving them efficient access to the experts, right? What is it that people want? They want to be able to quickly get someone, whether it's phone, email, text, Zoom. There's probably 27 other ways to communicate with us that I can't think of. Social media, right? Twitter. You know, it's getting to the right person as quickly and efficiently as possible, and finding that subject matter expert who can help them with the solution that they want to talk about.
That's awesome. And you're going to be at InfoComm for the whole show, I guess. And how can people want to? I know you're a really busy guy at these shows. Everybody wants some of your time.
Yeah, no,
But
absolutely.
If people want to grab some of your time, what's the best way of doing that?
Absolutely. My goal for trade shows is to spend as much time as I can at the stand talking to people, right? That's how we find out about what's going on. You, as you mentioned, will provide the stand numbers later on, because I'm actually not sure what they are. But I know we're in the West Hall. I think I don't know if the whole show's in the West Hall. And, you know, you showed that great rendering that our marketing communications department put together for this year's show. It's going to be really exciting. It's a change for us, and it's going to be nice to have. Last year, right, we had multiple booths, actually, even in different halls. So it's going to be great this year to be so close to each other and be able to show people the interoperability of these solutions and what you can do, the power of bringing them together.
Awesome. Really appreciate your time, Ben, because I know you've got like a really packed day today.
Absolutely.
But thanks for spending the time with us. It's been awesome.
Great. All right. Thanks. And thanks, everybody. Look forward to seeing you in a few weeks.
Awesome. Let's move on. Let's keep going with some pace. We're going to move on to sound now, and we're going to be joined by James Oliver. James, thanks so much for joining us. Brilliant start. Let's keep the energy going. Yeah. So what's InfoComm? What's new and exciting with the sound products for ACT?
Well, I think this is a statement year for ACT, and its goal in building out these three pillars of lighting, video, and sound. And obviously, we're about to make some big announcements on new products that are going to enter the portfolio. But like the lighting and video side, it's about getting those those industry-leading products, the staples of each category, and bringing them into the portfolio. And we'll get to do that this year with PK Sound, and an exciting new announcement to bring our first digital mixing console into the group.
That's awesome. I didn't know we didn't have one until the announcement. We'll bring Matt online in a sec. So what's exciting you most about InfoComm? We're not far away now. What are the highlights you're looking for out of InfoComm?
Well, I mean, customers are getting so much more sophisticated, right? I think Ben touched on it, right? Immersive experiences, combining technologies in new and creative ways. And I know Bob's, who's going to be in the call later, is, a huge proponent of that behind what we're doing as an organization. But, meeting the customer base and recognizing now they are becoming more like each other, right? They dabble in each one of these categories regularly. And, these solutions need to work together more effectively to deliver this next generation of content that's coming forward. And so by being able to present the leading brands, and I really believe that we have the leading brands in each category, as a solution or a holistic solution, is a really exciting development, not just for ACT Entertainment, but I think for the industry as a whole, to see a company be able to pull these pieces together and say, look, let's imagine what we can do next.
And like I touched on it with Ben, but it'd be really interesting from an audio perspective. Where do you see the crossover between live events and installations?
Well, I mean, the product mix is very similar in the sound world, right? Often the rider demand drives the installation spec. So, you have artists touring to these incredible performance halls, again, where technology is evolving at a pace that we've never seen before in history, right? And by having products, whether it's Avid, I spill the beans here, we'll talk to Matt about it more in a second, or PK Sound, which is really the next stage in live sound from a line array perspective, the introduction of robotics to get coverage patterns in a way we've never seen before, and connecting all those pieces throughout with products in the catalog. I think this is kind of the world of integration and touring. They're so much more closely tied together because, again, the way we develop content, whether it's mobile or fixed, is very similar now, right? And our access to that technology needs to be as well.
Yeah, I've noticed that when my kids are a bit older now, but when they're younger, I used to go out and see stuff, and I used to be like, oh, look how many screens they've got, or whatever. But for them, it's always about the interactivity and for that live coolness. That even when it was in a live environment, like a shopping center or an airport or wherever, that when it comes to life, those come together. It becomes an experience. It isn't just like a function anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. And sound plays such an important role in that, right? It creates this intangible. You don't even know you need it until it's gone. And when it's gone, you're like, what happened to the performance? What happened, right? So it's not that visual aspect, but man, the impact it provides to the performance or the content is remarkable.
Yeah. So we let the cat out of the bag a little bit, but let's bring it out of the bag completely. Let's get Matt in. Matt's joining us from Avid. Hey, Matt, how are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for having me on today.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. This is our when we do CONECT events, the summits, we try and bring as many brands together as we can at once and have guest brands as well sometimes, because it's really great. So many manufacturers talk about their solutions just in isolation. So it's brilliant you're here. I appreciate that. So tell
Absolutely.
me, why was Avid so excited to tie up with Act Entertainment? What was the driver there?
You know, yeah, thanks for asking. So it's interesting because the service and the relationships that ACT has had for so many years in the industry on the lighting side, going back to multiple customers that I've had for many years, it was an easy transition. It was just an easy choice moving forward to partner with ACT because most of them had already had a relationship on the lighting side, and so to be able to bring that together with the sound side, because just like James was talking about, lights and sound usually in an install or on a tour is together. I mean, even to the point where like MA consoles are right next to SXL consoles. So to have somebody like ACT being able to be the center point in that moving forward was a great decision.
And some of my buddies, so the buddies are supporting, so Rachel and Alex, who are the backroom boffins here, that they work in Cincinnati, and that's the amount of Avid gear in there now is super exciting. So we're really
Yeah.
kitted up and ready to go to support you. It's going to be brilliant. And InfoComm, you've got the Avid Venue S6L console going. Can you tell me a little bit about
Correct.
that?
Well, yeah, the S6L is the live sound console that Avid has put out, and it's one of the most requested live desks in the world. The integration side with Pro Tools, Waves, immersive audio, it makes it one of the best and premier desks out there. And so to be able to the workflow, what engineers can do and where they can see their vision come to life is something that Avid has done very well.
Yeah, it looks like a lovely bit of kit, actually. I fancy one here. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, right
How,
now, I'm sorry to interrupt. I was just thinking right now, Robert Scoville is with a 48D, which it reminded me because that's a 48D, is in the Sphere Live in Vegas with Kenny Chesney. So like that kind of thing is where S6L is.
wow, it's really, by the sound of it, it's really scalable as well.
Absolutely, yeah. This is in the picture right here is the largest desk, all the way down to a 16 fader. So and the idea where you can have any surface, any engine, any I/O. It's the unified platform, is what we call it.
Yeah, no, it looks incredible. And why in use, why is it so flexible?
Yeah, so in the background, it was based off of the idea in 2008 when DigiDesign, before the Avid aspect of things, but it was basically what can you do in the studio? What are the plugins? What are the things that mean most? Going from a studio, how can you make that in the live world? And so the legacy desks with the D Show, the Profile, the SC48, that's what the building blocks were on, and then taking that into the S6L where the moving into 96K and moving into some of the better sounding aspects of things, but still learning from where the desk came from. A lot of engineers really enjoy the workflow, saying, "Hey, I want this to go here. I want this to be here." And so the idea where it's really easy for an engineer to be able to get from point A to point B while it also sounds amazing.
Yeah, it looks incredible. And we're doing, we've got a demo room, haven't we, at InfoComm? And there's going to be a console. And James, we're taking some, you said the brand a minute ago. My brain couldn't quite remember it, but we're setting this up speaker brands, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. We'll have a demo room with Avid and PK. And that's a great reference point. Often on a trade show, you're listening through headphones or monitors. So the ability to have a large space to really put it to its paces is an awesome opportunity for our customer base or collective customer base to come out and see what the product's all about if they don't know already. Of course, you'll have PK sound there as well. And I think the combination of those two elements, which really focus on sound fundamentals and how we produce the best acoustic performance in all environments. Both of these things have those tools as a part of their backbone, and you can actually come and hear it and listen and touch and feel. So I think it's a great opportunity for our customer base or our greater customer base who may not be as versed in the sound world to come out and start to get immersed in how ACT's bringing this to market.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. People are wide in their mind what they think a sound console is. And they don't realize it's light years ahead now, isn't it, in terms of technology, Matt? It's just moved on exponentially.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, unless you've been a part of it for years, it's definitely something to come check out.
Awesome. And how can people get in touch with you, Matt and James? What's the best way of booking you before the show? Because I guess this is going to be a booked up demo most of the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
Matt, do you
James,
want to go ahead? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're going to have a good staff in place on the show floor. So we'll have members of the team both on our booth, which Mark's hiding the number for, but he'll announce it soon. And the demo room, we'll have multiple staff members in place. Of course, reach out to us through email in advance. The schedules are quite booked, but Matt and I will both be there. And of course, Avid. Do you know the booth number for Avid, Matt?
Oh, geez, right up. You're just gonna go like
that,
huh? I do. Ready for it? It's 5743. 5743. I got it. Quick. Yeah. So
that was good. And ours is the main booth is 3943, and the demo room you're going to be in is W4C. So I hope you got considerate. They're going to be cool with it. Yeah, it should be fun. While you're out there, my buddy from graphics, Jack, is going to be taking the camera out and doing some videos. So we'll do a follow-up webinar and we'll talk about it afterwards. And I'd really love to hear the customer experience. But for now, just thanks so much for joining us, Matt. And I'm so excited you're excited at working with us, because it is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank
Appreciate you. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, see you soon. So it's pretty. Yeah, thanks, James. So let's keep going. Yeah, as we get cracking on at a pace. We're now going to move on to lighting. I've got Ryan with me.
Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Yeah. Hey. Now, first of all, I didn't spot those guitars before. What are the guitars?
Don't ask me if I play them. Just some old guitars I've had. They make a great background. This one's actually just a piece of artwork at the moment, not even strung, but you know, got to have something back here with all the Zoom calls and such that we get up to. So
yeah, awesome. Yeah, I've got the one you've got on the right. I've got I haven't got the proper brand, but I've got one in the same color, and it looks just as gorgeous as yours.
Yeah, nothing wrong with cherry red, right?
Yeah, beautiful. We'll have to have a duet soon. Yeah. So thanks so much for making the time, and I'm glad you made it back from Europe. Okay. How was your trip over to this side of the world?
Yeah, I was attending the ShowLight conference, which was amazing. It's a conference that only happens once every 4 years, and it's really a deep dive into design and technology and sort of the latest of what's happening in the lighting world. It was a real privilege to be there. It was fantastic.
Awesome. You made it back safe and sound, which is really good. So moving on to InfoComm, what's new and exciting with what you're doing at InfoComm with lighting?
Yeah, so I think as a couple of the folks you've talked to already have mentioned, you know, we're years in the making, if we're being honest, of finally bringing together ACT Entertainment's promise of lighting, sound, and video, one place where the pinnacle of those technologies can be found. So it's very exciting. And also, you know, if you're somebody like me who's a little bit of a production geek, we're seeing the fruits of a lot of labor, you know, on the front of technological development and you know, working groups and integrations where a lot of these technologies are coming together in a way that they've never been able to before. You know, protocols that are allowing sound and lighting and video to interact in ways that are efficient enough that production teams can really start to take advantage of the immersion that those technologies promise. It's an exciting time to be in it.
Yeah, I saw that at ISE. We had this amazing demo with MA console hooked up to Hypnotizer MX, and it was amazing. People were like, "This is amazing. We've got tactile control." And when Nick will be on the call in a little while, he said, "It's super simple to set up." And wow, this is a pain point disappeared. So, and you know, what other protocols are developing in the industry? You know, that's MA3. There must be others.
Yeah, and you know, I think you touched on it. It's bringing these things. There was always a way, right? There was always a way to tie something together. If there's a will, there's a way we can make it happen, right? But now the accessibility of these interoperabilities, it has only ever gone up, and it's really reaching, I think, a point where any type of production, whether it's an installation, whether it's a cruise ship or a live event, or something that's going to go out on tour, they're going to be able to really sink their hands into what can I do with lighting, video, and sound that the audience hasn't seen before, that they've never experienced before. So that's what makes it exciting to me, anyway. You've got things like excuse me, open protocols like GDTF and MVR that are making sort of the pre-visualization of these events, which is critical as we get time crunch and budget crunch, making that accessible to larger and larger numbers of productions in the world.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know that's a GTF and all those technologies. We've written about them in our Green Hippo brochure, so it must be true. We're working together. It's fantastic. What's new for us at InfoComm in your area?
So yeah, from the lighting perspective at InfoComm, obviously there's a lot of things to look at, but I think the highlights for me will be bringing the new Ayrton Stradale fixture to this show. It is a small IP-rated, marine-coated. We're going to be in Orlando. We're going to be near the ocean. It's a fixture designed to do outdoor spaces, indoor spaces. Reliability is a huge part of this fixture's design and R&D. So that will be a must-see for anybody who's designing projects that require moving lights and immersion lighting. Also from Visual Productions, a slew of new products they keep adding to the toy box, right? SPI node for pixels, RDM node for your lighting fixtures. They've even got a new version of the kiosk touch panel that they'll be showing for the first time at InfoComm, which is an iteration on a technology they've had for a while, but sort of keeping up with the Joneses in terms of power and capability on that front as well. So those are the things that I'm excited about to show at InfoComm this year.
Awesome. Tell you what, should we bring Daniel on from MA? Daniel's really kind enough to join us, and we got like we said with Ben earlier, we've got such a really strong partnership with MA. Hey Daniel, it's really nice to meet you. It's the first time we've met. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hello, how are you doing? Thanks for having me. That's great.
Yeah,
thanks for being here on your day off, Daniel.
Absolutely, no way. I mean, when you like the things you're doing about your job, and it's in our beautiful industry, right? Then free time and working is quite often a very thin line,
So let's get into some tech. Tell me about the new streamlined node lineup with MA Lighting, and why that makes a difference to customers.
Yeah, so what we wanted to do is from coming presumably of having, I think, 22 different models of the nodes to a more structured and to a more redesigned and more easy to understand node portfolio. And that's why we now reduced, let's say, our number of nodes from, as I mentioned, 22 different nodes to now 5 different models where the customer, the user, they always have the full-blown node, especially with the 12, 2, 4, and 8-port nodes. And then with everything in there, including PoE, including on-PC parameters whenever you need it, and for a significantly lower price. So we just wanted to reduce the number of nodes to a portfolio which is more easy to understand, and also helps especially the entry level, the young people, the education facilities to get their nodes, using it directly to control smaller shows for a significantly lower price.
That's an awesome move. That's a big change in itself. Have you got anything else new you can tell us about for InfoComm?
Yeah, I think, of course, what we are actually working on, and this is still the thing where we have to decide if we can see it at InfoComm or not, is we are going a little bit to the target line of our new software version. So we are working on a GrandMA 3 version 2.3, and we are about to finishing it. So I think it will be public. So the plan is by end of June, and probably you can see a preview on InfoComm of this as well. We did a couple of good steps, especially now for installation for the theater world. So we have a lot of improvement in the software in this region as well. Of course, in our system and network capabilities. And that's what we are actually working on.
Yeah, and have you got a booth at InfoComm?
Sorry?
Did you have a booth, a stand at InfoComm?
No, they'll be on our booth, Mark.
No, you're hosted with us. That is brilliant. So people only need to go one place. Just come to the Act Entertainment booth.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
That's right.
And you'll be there, Daniel, throughout the show?
Probably I will not be there, but there will be my colleague and my boss. So it's good that he's not there. But my boss will be there, and he will definitely join InfoComm and talk to the people who like to talk to us, to MA directly, and of course our friends from ACT. So you guys, you will represent us as always in the very best way. So
awesome. I can see the picture behind here is Eurovision. And it's probably something, if you're not from Europe, probably don't realize how huge it is here. I'll give people just a brief idea how big it was. I recently had a big birthday party. I was 60, Daniel. I know I had an easy paper round, yeah. And my kids, we were carried on till like midnight. My kids went at 8 so they could go and watch Eurovision. And it is huge here in Europe, isn't it?
Yeah, so I mean, Eurovision is every year it's probably one of the biggest productions in general, which is done on an MA system, and it's not only from the let's say broadcast perspective, but also from the number of fixtures which are in there, from the system size, just from the network point of view. It is always going to the edge of what is possible with our system, and this is always great time for us, because it's 6 to 8 weeks normally where pre-production starts. Then of course they go into the venue, into the hall, and we are always on site with them, because it's also for us it's a good opportunity to learn more about our system when it's used in such a scale out in the field. So and it was just 2 weeks ago. So we did it again on MA and again on GrandMA 3 software, so 3 times in a row on GrandMA 3 software now, which is quite a good step for us, because that means this is always a kind of benchmark, especially in Europe, of course, but also worldwide, maybe one of the biggest productions we have.
And how do you deal with that quick change? So when you watch it on telly, you don't realize, but there's literally 30 seconds, isn't there, between one band going off and the next band coming on, along with all of their gear. And some of their gear, I watched some of it back, some of it had lighting fixtures inside their set that they pushed on as well. How do you cope with that?
Yeah, it's crazy to see, right? There is, I think there was 3-4 years ago, there was one short documentary film about this, about especially how they are dealing with the changeovers, and they're doing the changes to stage and changing from one artist to the other. And as you mentioned, it's just 20, sometimes 30 seconds. But then it's really amazing what these people working behind and on the stage, what they are doing. Then for our system, it's a little bit easier, because then you just go to the next sequence, to the next cue, to the next page of things you're doing. But also the guys working on our system and creating all of these amazing looks. And what is so special about Eurovision is that they always make the stage visible and feelable, like it is a complete different setup now. So they use the same setup for all these different artists, and for each and every single different artist you think, oh, that is a complete different stage, because they are creating totally different looks. Just with the amount of fixtures and the amount of devices they control from our system, this is just it's just incredible what they are doing.
Yeah, and I'd just say to people, if what Daniel and I are talking about, if you can see some pictures here now, it is exquisite. But just watch the videos, because it is on another level, isn't it, Daniel? Daniel, it's you can't. I honestly can't believe it's like 20 or 30 songs, one after another, with 20 seconds in between. You're right. It looks like a different stage every time, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like Ryan said. Maybe that's the most exciting part of what is happening and how our industry develops, is to see year after year how people create something that has not been seen before. And I think this is especially where Eurovision among some other things like a Super Bowl halftime show, for example, or some of the big festivals like EDC or something. So at these productions, you really see the things which have changed and which have not been seen before.
That's awesome. Really appreciate your time, Daniel. I know I just found out you've got a day off, so you better go and enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, talking about Eurovision is always enjoyable, so I do it on every day.
That's awesome. Appreciate your time,
Great.
Daniel.
Thanks for having
Ryan
me.
as well. Yeah, no, it's awesome, man.
Good to see you, Mark.
Thanks, Ryan, as well.
Yeah, good to see you, Mark.
Yeah, you too, buddy. See you soon. Right, so we're on the home run now. We're going to move to video, and we got Bob Boniel's joining us. Bob, how are you today?
Mark, how are you? Great to see you again after
right.
being in the UK at Maidenhead last week, and now coming to you live from my studio in Seattle.
Looks very nice. Yeah, you've done a good job there. Yeah. And before we get started, there were a bunch of questions I was going to ask you about you and where you come from, and but it's such an exciting story. Both of us, we made a video last week. Was it last week? It feels like a long time ago, but we made a video and it came out last night. Rachel posted it on our LinkedIn page. So it's a plea from me and Bob for you to go and watch it and then like it and then go to YouTube and subscribe. Because we like that sort of thing, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. Look, I think it's a focus at ACT that we go above and beyond to stay connected to our customers, to the people who are using our products. We want to deliver amazing customer service. We want to know exactly what they need, and we want to keep our finger on the pulse of the marketplace of experience, right? So this is one of the ways we do it. We reach out to you on your social channels. We come to you personally at shows like InfoComm. For us, this is a huge priority.
Awesome. Right. So we got your product division at InfoComm. We've got Calico Pro and we've got Hippotizer MX. Really interesting to get your sort of quick takeaway, what you're really excited about showing to people with our product line at InfoComm, Bob.
I'm really excited about InfoComm this year because we are entering a time where experience and production values, as we say in the world of live events, are not limited to the stage. What is a stage? Is a stage in a theater? Is a stage in an arena? Is a stage in a destination retail location? A themed environment that might be in your town? Classrooms? All of these places now have a need for immersion, interactivity, and amazing production. And all too often, that production is driven by use of media. So we're really excited about InfoComm this year because we are coming with two brand new, incredibly powerful platforms that allow specifically these things. Massive pixel landscapes, completely immersive spaces, and the power in the platforms to make the experience personalized and interactive. So when we're talking about Calico, we're talking about a controller which can put together an immense pixel space, many, many different surfaces, screens, LED screens, monitors, and it can unify how they look, how they behave, how they react. Coupled with that, you have the power of what is the most amazing new media server platform on the planet. Our new hardware, the MX servers, is set up to enable real-time performance, incredibly low latency, and really the industry's leading method for controlling via lighting consoles. And this is another thing I'm excited about for ACT at InfoComm, is this idea that we need to think holistically about all of these departments: sound, video, lighting. I call this the sensory multiplier. And it's one thing to hear something and be amazed by it. It's another thing to see something and be amazed by it. It's another thing to have incredible atmospherics like we have from lighting. But when we stack these, when we put them together, we achieve the sensory multiplier. And that's not just 2 times better or 3 times better. It's 10 times better. And we know that you, Our clients and our customers out in the field are demanding this. And this is why ACT is putting it all together under one roof.
And what we're really excited about here, so people who haven't joined us before, behind that wall, we've got all of Bob's boffins. All of our superb R&D engineers are behind that wall, working on Calico and Hypnotizer MX. I guess you want people to come to you with ideas and feedback, and you, as well as coming to see the demos. How's the best way for them to do that? Come and find you at the show.
I am going to be on the stand, on the booth throughout the show. I am really looking forward to seeing a lot of my old friends and colleagues that I've known throughout the sectors of the industry that I've been able to work in, but also looking forward to seeing new folks, because I think the audience at InfoComm is shifting a little bit. I think it's easy to think about InfoComm and maybe you think about your favorite integrators, you think maybe about your favorite gear specifiers, but we're expecting to see architects, designers, consultants, creatives, agencies, because our marketplace now is so much wider. We're having to think about things like destination retail, like brand activations, like immersive environments. And when I say an immersive or a themed environment, I'm no longer talking about something just like Disney World, although they're one of our cherished clients. I'm also talking about pop-up installations and immersive projection environments, things like the Van Gogh touring installation, or even a better example of that is Future Store in London, which has been powered by Hypnotizer and presents an incredibly immersive, interactive retail environment that brings people into brands, into products, and that's an incredibly powerful thing.
Awesome. And we love your passion, Bob. We absolutely love your passion. Keep it coming. You're right to hang with us for a second. We'll bring Darren in as well. Darren.
Oh, heck yeah. Let's bring some of the big planet-sized brains from tvONE who can tell you more.
Yeah.
Thanks,
So
I don't know who that is, by the way, but he's probably on his way in. I don't know.
So Darren, thanks so much for joining us. What's
always my pleasure, Mark.
Yeah, what's new for the Calico Pro family at InfoComm?
Well, as you know, Calico was only launched, really. We only started to ship it in October last year. So, it's gone off for Storm already. But this will be our North American release, if you like, or showcase of the smaller Calico model, the one use size Calico, which has all of the features and functions that the bigger 2U has. Except it's more of a fixed setup. So that's what we're showcasing for the first time in America. We did a successful showcase of that in Barcelona this year as well at ISE. On the screen, you've got the 2U Calico, which, as I say, we launched in October. The very, very powerful unit. And this one's expandable, so it comes with on board all 4K 60 I/O. It's a hardware product, so latency is incredibly small, only one frame usually with any kind of processing. And the good thing about this is it's expandable. We have option modules that you can put in there to change the I/O configuration and to add new features to the product.
Awesome. And what demos are we showing at InfoComm this year?
So there are a couple of demos with Calico. One main demo, which is showing Calico driving a couple of displays. Also, we're driving some LED with that in an interesting shape, which is kind of a central screen with two side screens, something like you might see in an auditorium or a big presentation space. And that's showcasing what we can do with our output mapping with Calico, which is specifically designed to help the LED guys to install their products easier. And also, we're showcasing a new feature, which is input mapping as well, where we can also manipulate the content to deliver that to many different screens and spaces.
Yeah, that's great.
We're also having a demo with Hippo as well with the MX. Nick will probably talk a little bit more about that, but Calico's also involved in a joint demonstration with MX, showing how these products can work seamlessly together.
Awesome.
These two products, Mark, I mean, I just want to jump in with Darren here. They are the perfect complement for each other. With Hippetizer, you have the most flexible, most powerful playback you can imagine. Couple that, put in a rack with a Calico, and now you have the perfect kit for managing big, complicated screen spaces, for switching between inputs and outputs, and for putting together the lowest latency in the business with the most incredible playback. These are two great tastes that taste great together.
Yeah, we should write that down. Sounds good. So
That sounds like a marketing slogan that for the next brochure.
good though. We're kind of running tight on time, so let's bring in Nick anyway, because I think we'll continue this as a conversation as well. Look at this, 4 of us now. This is getting exciting. So Nick, so I kind of guess like the same conversation for you. We're tvONE and Green Hippo, we've launched 7 products in the last few months.
Yeah, it's been busy.
It has been busy, and 5 of them are yours. I don't know how you cope with it, but it's brilliant. And Hippetizer MX is our new Green Hippo media server, and it's gone down like a storm, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're super pleased. We could have never anticipated the amount of awesome feedback we've gotten from the market, from our customers. Everyone's so excited to see it, to use it. We've been super fortunate that we've had a lot of early adopters and putting it on big shows, and the feedback has just been overwhelmingly positive. We couldn't be more pleased with the product. We're all super happy with it and just excited for everyone to be able to get their hands on it, and play with some of the new features that people have been asking for out of Hippo for quite some time. So we're really happy that finally our vision can come true, and we can get people the product that they really want to use as well.
Can you explain some of the leaps forward? I mean, it's not just small leaps; these are huge leap forwards in terms of usability, interoperability, and also the sheer power of the Hippetizer MX.
Yeah, I mean, it starts everywhere from the small little details, like a tiny little OLED screen on the front that you can actually set settings from. You can get better feedback on. We have new improved LEDs in the front for the famous, Green Hippo head that kind of light up in different colors, but they're not solid anymore. We can actually do fun little things like chase them in circles and whatnot. Rear illumination, it's one of those little things that you think, oh, who cares, but I tell you what, you're backstage in a really dark room and you need to find what came unplugged. That rear illumination will save you digging for a flashlight, pulling your phone out, smashing it. And most notably, I mean, the insides, the internals, computers are coming so far, so fast, and performance has really shot through the roof on these new systems. And the new drives in them are killer. I mean, we're reading at incredible speeds, and I think we're one of the few, if not the only media server on the market where you can pop in your drive, carry it around with you, pop it in and play your media and be ready to go in under 5 minutes. Most people, you have to copy over media and that takes hours. So it's a really cool feature that, people are really, really into.
What do you think of that, Bob?
Oh, I have to, look, as a user in the field and understanding the difficulty of media management, that like having to have a whole team of people actually on a big show just to manage files going back and forth, this kind of quality of life improvement. And Nick also referred to the lights on the back, also referred to the Hippo shape, which is not just fun and playful. It's a way that you can look at the front of a Hippetizer and know exactly what's going on with it, if it's got a problem or it's got a challenge, right? So this isn't just the playful little additions. These are real quality of life improvements for the programmers, for the users, and it just makes the whole experience smoother and more powerful.
Yeah, and talking of experiences, we'll just put up a bit. Probably we're a little bit over time, so we'll just show a picture and I'll tell people where to find out information. But you've recently been supporting WWE with WrestleMania, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was super cool. They had 8 brand new Kasai systems. They were the first ones off the line. You know, we pushed it through to make their show happen, and they couldn't be more happy with the Kasai system. So they worked in tandem with a few of the older Boreals as well, to deliver the show. But yeah, I mean, it was an incredible experience. The show looked fantastic, and we couldn't be more happy. Again, just getting new product on such a big show and it going down flawlessly. You know. It was really, really awesome. Tons of LED, tons of video, tons of lighting. There were MA consoles there as well. You know, we were able to network them together like we were kind of talking about earlier, and it was super easy to control. And bringing that whole ecosystem together is a real special treat, you know, to be able to work on a show where there's multiple products kind of in the family sitting there doing such a big show. So it was really cool.
Sweet. And if you go to the tvONE or Green Hippo websites, tvone.com or green-hippo.com, the press release for that landed today, so you can see these pictures and read the story. The other one that's landed, I was going to give Darren like a minute or so more, was SMU, which is Southern Methodist University. That was the first Calico 2RU. We've put loads in the field. That was the first one that we've created a press release for, and that's pretty cool as well, Darren, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's for an emergency operations center there for the police department, SMU, Texas, Dallas, I think. In fact, there's some of the very first installations that we did are in Dallas. Not this one and another one. But yeah, I mean, this is driving the media to a couple of LED controllers and some displays in this room. So yeah, this is a Uber display, so it's partnership with Uber.
Yeah, and it's really interesting, Darren. While I've been out talking to people, emergency control rooms, you know, command and control centres, military, government, are a space that people quickly identify with, and we've traditionally been strongest in corporate and healthcare, probably and higher education. But I've definitely seen a resurgence in some of the things. It's like the input mapping and the output mapping are like a perfect mix. Once again, it's that like Bob would say, it's the perfect cocktail, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean the days of control rooms having lots of individual video wall displays, which of course we were always traditionally really good at driving many smaller displays. Calico gives us the opportunity to drive LED controllers with big, massive LED walls, which is what's growing faster than anything now. So we're at the right time to push that. Of course. We've always installed our controllers in many different applications, verticals as well. Almost everything from oil rigs in the North Sea, that's where we've also installed Calico products, to even live events and broadcasts. So lots of areas where Calico can make a difference.
Sweet. Bet you're excited to lead this team, aren't you, Bob?
I couldn't be more excited. I have an amazing a group of humans, of engineers, of coders, of marketing people like you, Mark. And it's great to see the excitement around the brands now as we're bringing these new products to market right at the moment when the marketplace is just exploding. I couldn't be happier to be here.
Sweet. And the good news is Bob, Darren, and Nick are going to be on the show floor. So now you know what they look like. You can hunt them down, and they'd love to do a demo. So we got some really cool demos. Darren described his. Nick is doing an MA3 demo. Also, there's a really cool, you can almost see it there on the right-hand side between the two walls. Those are little mini tiles which are addressing with Calico and the Hypnotizer MX as well. So it's going to be super fun. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate that, and also your passion. It's going to be great fun. Have a great time over there. Right, guys. I'm sorry we're about 5 minutes over, but there was so much passion today. I wanted to sort of keep that coming and exude that so you could see it. So, just some takeaways for you before we leave you. Come and see us at InfoComm. Like I said, we're on booth 3943, and we're also in demo room W22 4C. Green Hippo will also be on the InfoLed booth as well. So we're really proud to be able to support the team over there with media playback at the show. If you can book meetings with us, book it before the show, because we tend to get really, really busy during the show. So if you book time with us, we can give you some really good time to show you what we're doing rather than rush the demos. Afterwards, we're going to be working on a fear of missing out, a FOMO webinar. So my buddy Jack is going to be over there being a citizen journalist for us and filming the demos afterwards. If you don't manage to get there this year, we'll give it to you. Obviously, you can watch on Rave TV as well. We'll be filming for that. And finally, I just really hope you enjoyed today with our lighting, sound, video story. It's been awesome bringing it to you, and I really thank you for your time. Looking forward to seeing your comments on the video. But for now, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.